I'm fuming right now. He's just proposed to me while we're in the middle of Monaco in front of all these yachts filled with rich men. I'm going to stand no chance now. Hate him.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll see how a woman catfishes a man using a model's photo from the Blue app, how the model responds to him, and finally, how the woman decides to leave, only to find out he's a millionaire. We want you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 150,000 subscribers by the end of the year. A big thank you to everyone who supports the project through Super Chats and by sharing their experiences in the comments. This is what helps our community grow. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Let's get started.
So I got on a date last night, and he tells me about his roommate. Guess who he lives with?
His wife, ex-wife.
Nope, better.
Ex-wife, baby mama.
Better.
Grandma.
Better.
Mother.
Better.
Mother-in-law.
Better.
Daughter.
Better.
I said daughter too. Oh, Jesus. Who the fuck does he live with?
His husband. Wait, it's not over. There's...
Kelly!
You ready for the next part? No, that's the best part. No, they are not together. He's straight. They did it for the benefits from the military. So...
For who? For him or him?
Both. So his husband, who's in the military, gets extra BAH.
Right. If you're married, okay.
So he doesn't have to pay for housing. And he gets...
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't know if this woman is aware of what she did, but to me, I'm not sure if she realizes it. She just confessed to a crime. I'm pretty sure that's illegal and considered fraud, especially when those men aren't gay. Maybe a lawyer or law enforcement officer will clarify in the comments, but you can see here that trusting information to a woman these days is risking it being known by everyone because she couldn't keep the secret and even set it on video. God willing, these men don't end up in trouble.
I catfished this guy thinking he was catfishing me. I'm currently at the airport. We agreed to meet here because he is from America. But he is here. I can see him. You can't see him in this, but I can see him. And he doesn't know what I look like, obviously. I catfished him. He thinks I'm Sophie Rain. I sent him Sophie Rain photos telling him that was me. So he is probably over there somewhere looking for Sophie Rain. And he's not going to find her because if you didn't know, I'm not Sophie Rain. I feel really bad and I don't know what to do. He's flown from America to the UK.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Only a man would do something this stupid. Honestly, with all the ways to connect these days, you couldn't do a video call first? You're talking to a woman you don't know and risking traveling to her country without even seeing her once. Even worse, this woman takes another woman's picture to deceive men. Can you imagine how many men she's scammed out of money or made fun of like this? This has gone so viral that even Sophie Rain herself responded. Let's take a look.
He thinks I'm Sophie Rain.
Hey, so that's insane. I'm sorry to the person who is waiting at the airport, thinking that they're about to meet me, who thinks that they've been texting me. You're texting this girl who's pretending to be me, and I'm really sorry. That's really lame and gross.
Sophie Rain, you've kind of got the wrong end of this. So, yeah, fair enough, I did borrow your face and tell a guy that maybe I looked like you, but it was all my personality. That was real. I just used your face and body. But, like, also, I do think you're being a bit of a spoiled sport about this. I knew I should have used Aisha's photos. She would have been so much cooler about it. Like, if you don't mind, just send me, like, a photo of you looking really sick in bed so I can, like, maybe send it him and tell him that was the reason I couldn't meet him. If you don't mind, of course.
Honestly, these days, there are no normal women. These young women are honestly scary. They're out of their minds. The worst part is that she later meets up with the guy, who finds out about the deception. She clearly allowed herself to be seen because she discovered he was a rich man with a yacht. Let's take a look.
Major catfish update, major catfish update. I met him. So we all know that I catfished a guy, telling him I looked like Sophie Rain. He flew all the way from America to the UK to meet me, Sophie Rain. I met him today. You know, he told me there was a few things he hadn't told me yet and he wanted to tell me in person. He forgot to mention the fact that he is rich. I'm on his yacht. Let me see if I can take you upstairs and show you. Guys. Sorry, Sophie Rain. You missed out.
Hey, bro. What? Oh, my God!
As the saying goes, money makes the monkey dance. Modern women will do anything for money. If you recall the intro video, she had a boyfriend and mentioned he wouldn't let her meet guys with yachts. What happened to the boyfriend? She took him out of the picture to go after the guy with the yacht. The same guy she initially mocked by catfishing him. Money, brothers, can change any woman's attitude. Because, as I said, money makes the monkey dance.
Successful cardiologist on a dating app, but women who went out with him say he was a monster who spiked their drinks and then brutally sexually assaulted them.
So I just saw this story of this cardiologist who sexually assaulted a bunch of women from Hinge, Tinder. The guy sounds like a complete monster. And first of all, before I say what I'm about to say, to preface, these women did nothing wrong. You should not have to worry about someone drugging you and sexually assaulting you who you met on a dating app. But anytime I see stories like this, as someone who uses dating apps, I try to think about how I can keep myself safe because unfortunately, people like this do exist in the world. And I was reading an article about this case, and in an interview with one of his victims, she said something that really caught my eye. She said after meeting Matthews at a bar for a drink, she agreed to walk with him to his townhome to let his dog out. And then she also said, I didn't want to be rude and didn't want to offend him, so I took the drink. I think all women have been in this situation where a guy after a date is like, oh, you should come see my backyard, or like, oh, I have this really fancy bottle of wine at my house, you should try, or like, oh, I'm gonna let my dog out, you should come. And you don't say no, even though your intuition is telling you to say no. And again, she didn't do anything wrong. This is beyond not her fault, but I do think it's a good lesson for all of us. Never go to a man's house on a first date. And if you don't want to do something, for example, he offers you a drink and you don't want it, he asks you to go to his house to let his dog out and you don't want to, don't worry about being rude. Do not worry about offending someone. You owe this person nothing. You don't know them. And unfortunately, when you go to someone's house after a first date, you lose the power and the control in the situation because you're no longer on neutral territory and they're essentially in control of the situation. And because I talk about dating and using dating apps so often, I would be remiss if I did not include the fact that things like this do happen, especially because this guy was a cardiologist in Denver. He had a great career. He seemed successful. There's nothing that would lead these women to believe that this man was a predator, but yet he was. So always at all costs, avoid being alone with a man who you've met on a dating app for honestly at least the first 4, 5, 6 dates. But I always think it's important to evaluate how to stay safe on dating apps.
Brothers, responsibility is kryptonite for women. I won't deny that this man is a predator. What he did to these women is very wrong, and justice should take care of him. However, I don't agree when she says it's not her fault. It is partially her fault because she chose to go with him on the first date, with someone she didn't know. This man was a doctor, a highly prestigious career, which means high social value. Remember, women are hypergamous by nature, which makes these types of men seem like a good match to them. This is what made her more willing to go to his house to see what could happen. As we see in the news, it was at his house where he committed the crime. But they were the ones who chose to go, so you can't completely remove their responsibility in this. If he had been a bad match, an average guy, she would have made him pay for several dinners before even considering being alone with him. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are some questions for you. What do you think about the woman who did the catfishing? What's your opinion on what the doctor did? If you enjoyed the video, we've got 2 more interesting divorce stories you might like. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications as we upload videos daily just for you. See you in the next video on the wall.